Hello viewers and welcome back to Let's Play Reunion. This is the third part. We will be continuing exactly from where we left off, which was we're at a point where we have a couple of colonies set up, a lot of mining going on. So we have also made contact with the Jaanosians from planet Jade, and they're helping us with some research here and there. The people on this planet find me sympathetic, so that means we can raise the taxes a little bit as well. There's not a huge population here yet though, so we won't get a huge amount of money from them, but we will as we build more buildings. In fact, we probably can do this a little bit as well, so we can build some more buildings, kind of encourage this colony to grow a little bit as well. No doubt they will start complaining about other things shortly. Yeah, so we could also potentially build derricks on this planet, as it does have the toxin, but I think the amount of derricks that we're going to have on New Earth is going to be sufficient for that. So, what we can do now, we can actually begin to transfer mainly the radium, which is the one that we cannot mine on New Earth. We can transfer some of this over. At the moment our transfer fleet is quite small, so we will have to make multiple trips to get it all over. But this is a good amount of radium to have at this point in the game. Radium will be something that will be quite important shortly for us. So I'm just going to bring all of this over here.
Move ship. Message. Transfer. Control panel. Control.
There's multiple trips
Move
back and
ship.
forth.
Message.
Bringing this radium
Transfer.
over.
Control panel.
We'll just bring the whole
Control.
lot over just now.
Move ship. Message. Transfer.
Uranium.
Control.
Okay, so we're going to stock up New Earth with all of that. The only thing that we do not have now on New Earth is Texon. We'll need to set up another colony for that, as it's not on any of our colonies so far. I don't think we'll need it just yet though, so we can probably get by without it just for the moment. We think we're up to date on all of our research just now. Let's check planet main. Everyone's fairly neutral just now. One thing that they will eventually start moaning at me about on here is a stadium. It needs a vehicle plan. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to see if I can build a stadium for them just now before they start complaining about not having one, and that will probably enable me to make sure that the people here remain happy. Where is it? The only downside of it is menus, and you just have to click up and down, and it's difficult to tell where the things are on the list. But yeah, I'm going to build a stadium there. We're still looking decent enough
Planet
power.
information. Attention.
Okay, right, this is where things start to go a little bit crazy, so bear with me if I start getting even more rapid fire here. We've received an SOS message from the Jaanosians. Greetings, alien. Greetings. We have received some bad news from our spies. They say that the Morgruls are planning an attack against our base. We cannot possibly resist a sustained assault. Can you help us? What shall we fight with? We have no weapons. We need all the weapons we can build to defend ourselves. We can send you detailed plans of a fighter ship if that would help. Okay, we will do our best to help. Thank you for your help. Okay, and I'm going to save the game right now.
Save.
Okay, the Jaanosians have sent us an SOS message claiming that a species called the Morgruls are on their way to attack them. And this is partly kind of coming into where I mentioned if you don't do things in a certain order in this game, you can basically get yourself stuck.
Production.
If we hadn't made contact with the Jaanosians, it is entirely possible for them to get wiped out by the Morgruls without you ever making contact with them. You would never have received the weapons or the fighters, and the Morgruls will ultimately attack us and steamroll us as we have no defences. We are now capable of building some fighter ships and some laser cannons, so we are going to do this right now. We'll start with 10 hunters, and
Attention.
yep, the Morgruls have attacked and destroyed the Jaanosian base. They're deploying more and more forces in this system. And there they are, the Jaanosians have been defeated. Even if we'd managed to build a fleet and get them out there, this is a scripted event. There is nothing that you can do in this game to prevent the Jaanosians from being defeated. Even if you manage to get out there and defeat the Morgruls, which is a very, very difficult thing to do given that you have pretty much no time to get a fleet together. Even if you manage to do that, you will still not be able to stop the Morgruls from destroying the Jaanosians. This happens regardless of what you do. It's very unfortunate, but yeah, unfortunately we have lost the Jaanosians, and we have now got a rather hostile presence building up in the system here. So we're going to continue building build 50 laser cannons, and probably build some more hunters. Yeah, I'll build another 10 of these. We are also going to, at this point, need another commander. We're going to need a fighter. This guy costs 45,000 credits.
Attention.
And our scientists have found that the bought item is a hyperspace drive. This is the item that we purchased from the Jaanosians in the previous episode. They were unsure of what it was. We apparently have discovered that it's a hyperspace drive, which is interesting.
Welcome.
Right, we're going to hire Kyle Douglas, who seems to have a strange face mask on. Our other options here are Michael James, who says, "Hire me or I'll kill you." But he also concedes he is no better than our current advisor, which is this guy. There's also this guy. This is quite an interesting one. This is Mac, who says, "I can lead you to victory." He is half man, or fraction man, half machine. Apparently, according to the instruction manual, Mac is a cyborg, half man, half machine. An ex-army general, Mac was killed during a terrorist attack on his patrol, but was restored to life using advanced bionic techniques. His already extensive knowledge is now supplemented by a positronic brain as powerful as a supercomputer. What's interesting about that is we've not had any mention in the storyline of any terrorist uprisings on New Earth, so that could raise the possibility that Mac is actually over 300 years old and is from the original Old Earth. He was part of the wars against the terrorist uprising on the original planet Earth, and he has come to us with this colony, and he's basically immortal due to his robotic cyber whatever he's. So we can now research a hyperdrive, or rather we can't because we don't have the necessary skills yet. That's secondary to what is going on right now. Is the most important thing at the moment is to make sure we have a fleet in place, just in case the Morgruls decide to come and visit.
New group.
So we're just going to call this the army.
Okay.
And I'm going to chuck all of these guys in here. So each hunter craft can carry 2 lasers. I think that should be enough to get us through the first fight. So, right. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to make sure. What do I need to make sure here? So that was also part of the reason that we needed the radium from Apollo.
Production select.
As the hunter craft and laser cannons require radium, and if you have not found a means of mining that by that point, if you've not set up any other colonies or anything like that, you will not be able to build these craft. And given the limited time that we've got until we potentially get attacked here, that is not good. So you have a very, very short window of time in order to get everything prepared for the potential attack by the Morgruls. So,
Back.
at this point, another thing that we're going to want to be looking at then is
Production. Select.
the. In
Back.
fact, we can probably
Developer.
now get this guy to go to university. He's going to cost about 70,000. What
Research.
skills do we need here? We need maths, which is what he's short on at this
Back.
time. So I'm going to get our money up to about that
Developer.
much. How are you first? Fine, thanks. What do you want? More products. What type of inventions shall we develop? I don't need anything right now. These conversations are basically useless. Right, what shall we produce? We might need satellite. You will have to discover other planets. Yeah, thanks for that. Just go to university and learn about maths. And hopefully that will be
Message.
enough.
Research.
Yes, that has got us over the threshold.
Message.
Oh dear, okay. New alien racist ships arrived at your colony in Amnesty. They call themselves the Morgruls.
Message.
Attention, enemy fleet approaching Amnesty system, planet New Earth. Right, have we got all of our ships in this?
Control. Group.
Yeah, right. We've got a fleet. We've got a fighter. Pretty much all we can do now is wait
Starman.
as Morgrul Fleet 1 has arrived.
Message.
Our colony is under attack by the Morgruls. In all fairness, that was a fairly pathetic attack. They came at us with 5 hunters. It was not very good. They are really just testing the waters at this point.
Back.
They just wanted to see if we had any defences. We do. They are going to come back with
This.
much bigger fleets.
Save.
So, okay, so we've defeated the first wave of the Morgruls. But really, this was more of a preliminary wave than anything else. This is quite a small, limited
Production.
attack.
Select.
We are going to need to bulk up our defences significantly because they will be back before long, and we are going to need to come up with some sort of plan in order to take them out. This is the actually the most difficult part of the game. There is no guarantee that I'm going to be able to get through this without reaching a game over once or twice. We've invented a twin laser gun, that's useful. Yes, there is every possibility that we may die a few times, just if things don't quite go to plan. So I'm going to be keeping a number of saves. We may have to do a little bit of backtracking if things go wrong, but hopefully I'll get this right first time.
Attention.
A hyperdrive has been installed onto satellite carriers. This way satellites may travel to other systems. Unfortunately, hyperdrives may not be fitted onto other spaceships. We'll try to invent a ship capable of carrying a hyperdrive. So that means we can now
Bye. Okay.
we can now
Back.
get our satellite carriers,
Control. Group.
which
Control
doesn't
panel.
currently have any satellites, so we're going to fill it up with some satellites.
Control panel.
And we can now take our
Control.
satellite carriers
Zoom out.
to another system, the Phoenix system. We can't take anything else through here yet, because our trade ships are not capable of flying through hyperspace. We can't fit a hyperdrive to them, so we're going to need to wait for another invention before we can do that. But I'm going to send our satellite carrier through here first of all.
Attention.
We have left our solar system and made our first step toward finding Earth. And there we go, there goes our satellite carrier. Which looks suspiciously like a satellite. Never mind. And there's what appears to be some sort of galaxy or strange star. Anyway. There, so we're dumped back here.
Back.
While that's on its
Local.
way, do these guys know anything about the Morgruls? Do you know anything, Spy Hunter? Have you seen or heard anything? No.
Message.
Oh. We have discovered some planets in the other system.
Message.
So we'll go there in just a moment. Oh, you have some information apparently. Talk. A strong and powerful race lives in the second solar system. The coordinates of their planet are 0142 3400 2310. Okay, thanks for that. Have you heard anything? Sure, give me some of that out your firewater. A stranger visited the bar. When I spoke to him, he said that he lives in another solar system. Mind you, he was on his third glass of real old Earth ale.
Back.
He lives in another solar system. Well, that doesn't really surprise me, given that we have found another solar system, and that apparently no one bats an eye at aliens walking around the bar. So, yes, we have discovered a few things here. We've got our satellite here. We also have another alien species here called the Calls. Don't know anything about these guys. That's the first time we've found them. I'm going to assume that we've invented a troop carrier as well. That the troop carrier is a sort of ground infantry, which is useful in the event of planetary battles. We'll come to that, but what I'm going to do first of all is move this ship to a different system. We won't be able to launch our satellites or anything there because that place seems to be occupied. So I'm going to go here first of all. There are no moons. This seems to be a sort of foresty planet. I am also going to very quickly go to Phoenix 5. We'll explore the moons here. We have another species here. So this is the planet that Mr. Man in the Bar told us about. This is the Felonians. So again, we're not going to bother launching satellites here because they will just be blown up. But I'm going to bring the satellite carrier back to New Earth. One other thing that I'm going to do, this is a very easy thing to miss. I'm going to take our transfer ship to Jade.
Control. Zoom out. Planner. Move ship. Message. Attention.
And we're going to land it here. Now, while searching the ruins of the destroyed Jaanosian base, we find a subspace radio transmitter. Again, this is one of those things that you pretty much have to just find by pure chance. I happen to know that is there. If you don't find that, it will cause problems down the line. Now, let me see what stage are we at here. There's a few things that we're going to need to research here. We have the, we have a radio, which shouldn't take too long to actually research.
Message.
The radio is ready for production. We have the twin laser gun, which again we should be able to research. We have the galleon, which looks like we are able to complete research on it as well. Now, the galleon is a trade ship with a hyperdrive fitted. That is what we need. We need one of these. They're very expensive ships. They aren't much better in terms of actual trading capability than the normal trade ships, but as long as you have at least one of them in a unit, it will be able to go through hyperspace. We'll also research these troopers, and I'm going to build one galleon. Or rather, we're not, because we need techs on. So, where can we get techs on? Techs on. We are going to need to build a colony, probably somewhere. Let me see. If we go to. Oops.
Surface.
Right. This is Penelope. Penelope has radium and techs on. We can build a colony here. So if we get ourselves at least about 200,000, we are going to have to go with the more expensive nuclear generators here as there is no wind. But yeah, we'll build this colony here.
Build colony. Message.
We are going to also need to get some minor droids out here. That's going to result in needing to build a spaceport there as well. So we're going to have to do all that stuff. We're going to need to build some minor droids as well. We don't have any currently, I don't think. We want 9 because 9 is the maximum that we can actually have. And a colony.
Control. Transfer.
So we'll take these minor droids over to Penelope, which is our colony. We don't have a spaceport here yet, so we're going to have to build one. That's going to also involve a... Well, we're going to need to build another generator most likely because we will run out of power. We're going to need a vehicle plant. That's going to cost a whole bunch of money. We can just build it here. And a spaceport. Spaceports cost 50,000, so we'll build that there. And finally, we're going to want 9 of our mines. 1, 2, 3, and we're out of power. It's a fine balance. Unfortunately, there's nowhere that makes it really easy to determine how much power your base is using. But yeah, we'll just have to build another nuclear generator. Can we fit one there? No, we can't. Build it here then. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5.
Message.
Apparently we need a out of power again. Jeez.
Build.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Build.
6.
Build.
7.
Build.
8.
Build.
9. And we still have power.
Ship.
And that means we should now be able to transfer these onto the planet. Back to planet main, go to our mine and add droids. And now we will be mining piles and piles of Texon. I'm going to wait until we've got about that much and then take it back with us.
Control panel.
So this is
Control. Zoom out.
going back to New Earth.
Planet. Move ship. Message. Transfer.
I'm just going to
Message.
keep clicking on things and skipping past messages. I should probably, if you do inadvertently do that, you can go to the messages here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, that is not what I wanted to see. There is an enemy fleet approaching at the moment. That is bad, that is bad. We are not ready for that.
Control. Group.
Don't know if we will survive this.
Back.
There's very little we can do at this point, unfortunately. We are under attack.
They are behind you.
This is not looking too good. Oh dear, we are not winning this one. We are not winning this one. We are going down. We have lost the battle. We don't have any ground forces, so we are immediately losing the battle. We have been defeated. The control center has been taken over by the aliens and your colony has been destroyed. Your mission has failed. Yeah, that is it. We died. We died. So I did say that this could potentially happen. Yeah, we needed more troops there. So we will need to pick up from a save game and try doing that correctly. As we look on at the smouldering ruins of our colony. So I think with that, this is probably a good place to call time on this particular video. We will pick up from here in the next part and move on and try and hopefully get past the second Morgrul attack. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this so far. If you have, give us a like, leave us some feedback in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you next time where we will attempt to not die. See ya!